Welcome to my GPA series. Today's topic is on databases, really a follow-up from the last presentation on using the World Wide Web for research. And just looking at the definition of databases, you will appreciate why we use databases or rely more on databases for accessing information we seek when we are approaching assignments, when we are beginning our research papers. Whatever we are doing during our academic journey, we rely mainly on databases. So, the definition, we look at a collection of electronic digitized information, and this information is vast and it comprises magazines, journals, newspapers, and electronic books. This information that is now available on the databases was once in print form, but since transcribed to the digital process, these pieces of information would have been edited. They would have gone through the editorial process to ensure that the information is reliable. We'll get back to reliability when we go a little deeper into understanding the different types of databases. And so databases are usually subscribed, paid subscription. And this is what our library pays for. They pay for a set of databases that would be relevant to the courses of study that are available at a particular institution. First thing we notice here is that the information available on the databases is not usually available on the World Wide Web. Mainly because these databases are, as I said, specific to subject areas and specific to focused areas of study. So, to break it into two categories, we have general and specialized databases. What are general databases? General databases are full text of magazines, journals, newspapers, and they all come out to satisfy a vast range of subject areas. The general databases, typical examples you would have seen, Academic Search Premier, Academic OneFile, and ProQuest. And the specialized databases is really a collection of, an organized collection of specific subject or discipline material, research material, books, again, in any of these formats. It's specific to that particular subject area. For example, business, health, literature, criminal justice. And again, you would have seen typically the examples such as Business Source Premier. There's also Health Source for nursing. There is the Literature Resource Center, Psychology and Behavior Sciences collection, and there is Criminal Justice Abstracts. These are just a few examples of the specialized databases. Why would we want to use a database? Well, the bottom line is that the databases are organized. Just looking at the definition, we see it's an organized collection of electronic information, and so your search is more workable as opposed to typing in search words and key search terms in onto a search bar on the internet or the World Wide Web. Apart from the organized setting, the organized format of the information is also relevant because, as I said, it's paid subscription, and the library would go about selecting the databases based on the set of subjects that are pursued in that institution. The access is 24/7 because it's online, unless there is some repair or maintenance being done on the school website or the particular website that offers those databases. Other than that, it would be accessible 24/7, so it is convenient. And again, as I said, selected. So selected would mean that you are most likely going to get enough information and relevant information on any subject matter that you are pursuing. As opposed to the web, remember, if we're talking about organized and relevance and access and selected for specific subject matter, the web would provide you with information, yes, but those articles are also flooded with ads. There is a vast amount of opinion-based information on the web, and let's not get away from the fact that there is also a lot of propaganda on the internet, specifically on the World Wide Web, for different reasons, but mainly because websites, there are a lot of websites that are sponsored, and when we are talking research and academics, one of the key elements of critiquing the information, of evaluating your information, is to look for that bias. To what extent is the information biased? So if it is sponsored, understand the information would be biased, or biased to the extent that you cannot rely on the information as information that can be used objectively. There's no guarantee either, since the information, as opposed to the databases, the information on the World Wide Web is not always edited. There is no necessity to go about editing the information because it's accessible to anyone, and therefore anyone can upload information. So there's no guarantee that the information, however organized it may seem, there's no guarantee that that information is going to be reliable. Apart from that, the information is also dynamic on the World Wide Web. By dynamic, I mean that it's fluid to the extent that you can go back tomorrow and not find that website. Again, the information is also uploaded at any time and freely without the editorial process. So the fluidity also lends to it being so unreliable because it can be updated within minutes. There is a lot of addition, you can delete, there is live editing going on. So as opposed to the information upload and the information presentation being regulated via the databases, especially the specialized databases, this is not a guaranteed feature when you get information from the World Wide Web. All this would feature in your courses that prepare you for information literacy. I always caution that I'm not doing presentations to replace classroom. I'm doing the presentation to raise topics that students often overlook and then realize it becomes so relevant when they attempt to engage in the research process. So this is a short presentation, but I think it's very relevant before we even get into the fundamentals of approaching an assignment or approaching a research paper or even trying to brainstorm a research topic, because to go through that process is to try to get information. And how do we go about getting information? Apart from textbooks, we do rely on the web and we rely on online facilities. And if we don't regulate this or we don't appreciate how the information is organized or disorganized, then we will find ourselves in difficulty when we begin to answer our research questions, when we decide that we are going to do our assignments, or we will find that when we begin the assignment, we become flustered because the information is coming from all different directions. And when it's time to probably test the information or when we are ready now to defend our position, whatever position we may have taken on a particular research area, we find ourselves in difficulty because we are now being edited, our work is being edited, and we have to defend. And in defending, we find that we would have fallen short of the academic standards and the critical thinking aspect. And I always bring it in because they are all tied in. And I remember earlier saying that the steps you go through as you do your academic assignments, the steps that you go through throughout your academic journey at tertiary education is not sequential. They are all connected and they all affect each other. And so this is important. So again, go back to your notes and now look at it differently and appreciate why your library encourages you to use databases. It is more than just sitting in the library, or it's more than just going online and pulling journals. It's about understanding where the information is coming from, the type of information you can get, the depth to which you can search for information to then prepare you to do robust research and quality presentations. So I encourage you, go back, see it now as an adventure. Look forward to doing research. Look forward to going into your databases and extracting quality information. All the best with your assignments until we meet again.